Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020, where we are going the distance. So far, 6 games out of our first 2 series, and we just need T1 and Gen G to take it all the way as well. And we will have a 9-game day on our hands. And then we'll definitely need some days off tomorrow.
Nope, I'm gonna do a Korean commentary tomorrow either. So
oh my goodness! Well,
my
I'm
brain
back
is
with,
literally melting.
Yep, I'm back with LS tomorrow as well, so don't worry. We can both have our brains melt and then be terrible tomorrow. But hopefully today we're still gonna be okay. Let's keep our heads in the game.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. Do what we can. As thankfully we haven't had too many pauses. There was deft pausing because of that slight amount of ping before, so we're doing okay there, and hopefully we can get straight into the draft for game number 3, and the deciding match between KT and Griffin. Both of these, I feel like in both of the losses, the teams have played really disappointingly. And so now I don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be side selection? I don't know. Well, UCal is going to easily pick up the player of the game. 37.6% of his team's damage is pretty damn good. And it's good to see UCal finally performing.
Yeah, it was question mark that why they first picked Azir side, but yeah, this
now
is
we
the
know why.
answer. Yeah, now we know why exactly. So in team fight, laning phase, the CS difference between mid laners, assigning laning phase is all about UCal this game. So it was so great to see UCal back his form against his ex team.
Yeah, really good stuff. So able to get some revenge up against the KT organization. 9 out of 9. Pretty easy call there for player of the game because he was the hard carry this time around. And we may just see an Azir ban this time. What do you think? Do you reckon it's going to be Azir ban, or do you think that KT are going to have a better answer?
I really think they just need to ban it because most of the teams are just starting to auto ban Azir.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just respecting any mid laners to do his job as Azir, you know? It's not that hard. Just farm mid and go half mid lane. You don't even need to be ahead. You know?
Yeah.
And just go mid late game and just do his job. So I think it's just better to just ban it, especially when Yuka just performed really well on that champion and just put on his another mage champions, which is not that maybe great for UCal, but yeah, I mean, with his Azir performance, maybe we can expect more from him.
Yeah.
With even any other champions.
We'll see what he's going to be playing here in game number 2. I hope that Griffin have something spicy planned for us. And I'm interested because they were the ones that banned the Ornn in game number 1. So it might be that Antara goes back to another top lane Rumble performance, something like that. I think that he would have been second in line if we had 2 player of the games to give. I think Antara also had a really good game. And Soan was basically non-existent. The solo lanes on KT just couldn't do anything. So we'll see what they do decide to ban. 8 seconds to go. I think they're looking for Azir. Nope, Set going to be the first one to leave.
Yeah, I mean, Set and Azir should be the ban, I think. And that's just a normal ban from Griffin right there, Aphelios.
Yep. Standard stuff. Yep.
Here
There
we
go. Nailed it. We might have a more even matchup here this time around as we'll see whether Griffin bans something like, I don't know, it's going to be Jarvan. I was thinking maybe Kalista Senna could come in because KT will snap up the Senna if they can, first pick, if it is left available.
I mean, they got smashed by Senna, so they should just ban.
They should definitely ban it.
Yeah, just live up the Kalista and just deal with it. But I don't think Griffin is a good team to just play against Senna, because when they just played it,
could ban.
I don't even want to just explain.
You don't have to. You don't have to because she's gone. I think first pick Kalista does make some sense with the Varus being banned, and they are going to do that.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, can they actually flex it to the top side?
Ooh,
so
maybe.
one top Kalista?
I mean, they're looking down the barrel of a potential Ornn pick here on Griffin's side. And so I would like the flexible Kalista top lane. Soan hasn't played it at all in solo queue, not on the account that I can see. But Griffin aren't even going to take away something like the Ornn, not wanting to pick it into a potential Sylas. What I'd love to see here is Sylas and Ornn both picked by KT.
I mean, Taric can be really good partner.
Oh,
too.
that's true. They will
just
need
wanna
to take
put
the
top,
Taric here.
Bot side, yeah. And yeah, I mean, this can be really also good answer, Taric and Olaf. But it seems like they're not thinking about Olaf this time.
Not just yet. It might come in here.
Not just yet.
I think that it would make sense for KT just to take away the Olaf here, because you can be so much more flexible with your composition at this stage, right? Like, they can pick a whole lot of different things in both mid and top lane, and it is going to be that Olaf picked up. Nice work for KT.
Yeah.
I like the draft so far.
I mean, even though he played bad last game, Olaf and Zoe combo is still really aggressive.
That's true.
And good picks in the mid jungle, so I think there is a chance that he might play as Zoe again this time in. And it's really boring, but good answer at the same time with the Trundle jungle right there.
Yep, classic Trundle to come in here from Tarzan. Wasn't able to pick up a victory on it, so actually suffered his second loss of all time on the Trundle in game number 1, and now looking to try and get some revenge now that Griffin have the momentum after a game 2 victory. But it is once again, like, I'm scared with it because it's looking very standard from Griffin, and I want to see more of these curveballs, like an Aatrox ban. What the heck?
Yeah. That is great. Just greatest ban choice ever.
I love it.
In Griffin ban picks, you know? And yeah, I mean, my question is what Yuko is going to play this game, because he played the 2 Azir games today.
Yeah. And he can't play Azir now. So maybe... Ooh, LeBlanc is still available.
Yeah, that is true. And it's good against Olaf and Kalista and Taric, because you can easily just kite them. But they just banned it.
Griffin banned it on red side. Okay. It's different.
So they might have some idea about the mid lane, because you just ban LeBlanc.
You Cal Zoe?
It shouldn't be just, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be for no reason, you know?
Well, I'd like KT having a look at what Griffin have. Oh, okay, so it's just going to be the Ornn ban. I thought that maybe they'd pick away the Sylas with the Ornn maybe in the second round, but KT, a different idea, as Untara does have to play a different champion this series as well. So Yukal and Untara forced to change up their pick strategy. We'll see what it's actually going to be as far as their decision to be made. Viper, still thinking about it, as the Zoe for Yukal is the consideration, and that's going to be locked in.
I mean, you shouldn't just give Olaf and Zoe and Kalista Taric at the same time.
That's a lot of things, yeah.
That is just legit inting draft. So you should just get the Zoe here.
Yep, and they do that, so they pass that test. Now KT to show us exactly what their draft is going to be. Ooh, Jace or Galio seems fun. I really like the Galio. It answers the Zoe relatively well, and Kuro is really good at this champion. And now I'd like to see like another Bruiser style, like tanky boy up in the top lane to really give KT that like very mid-game focused like Kalista draft. But it's the Jace from Soan. This is back to some comfort, and I really like it.
Yeah. I mean, I really wanted to mention before, but anyways, this is the game that Soan actually can show his aggressiveness against Untara, because I don't think Untara is the good top laner, considered as a good top laner in LCK right now. And in this timing, I think Soan should prove himself that he can actually play some aggressive picks on the top side. And also, Galio got changed on his ulti.
Oh, that's true,
You give MR shield right now when you use ulti, so it might just can be really, really great against the cannon, actually.
And we saw Kuro play it really, really well before 10.6 actually came in.
Yeah.
So now even better. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do here. I want to have a look at the numbers again of just what did change with that the Galio buff. I think it was actually 10.5. So he was able to utilize it there as well. So not too bad. And we'll see what Kuro is going to be able to do here. I like Galio being in the meta. I think that like Galio allows for some really fun team fights. And Kuro's already showed us how good he is on the champion. Oh, that's in 10-7. Never mind. We're looking too far into the future.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, you're right.
You're trolling everyone. This is why, as commentators, we shouldn't read patch notes too far ahead because we get them all confused and then we don't know what's actually in the game. Like I was actually.
I mean, even broadcast showed it. You know.
Yeah.
Even official LCK broadcast showed it. So I thought.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
Oh man,
I mean,
we got trolled.
They showed. Yeah. So I was thinking that Galio got buffed. So. Yeah.
I thought that maybe you got buffed in like, 10.5 before. I'm looking for this dang buff. Just can't figure out which patch note it's from. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll see whether Kuro can utilize his Galio pick regardless of the magic damage shield that he can provide. As now Bono immediately runs straight into the enemy jungle and spots out Untara.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know why Untara just picked up Kennen when he already knew that. I mean, he played against it last game.
Yeah.
The Kennen being useless, completely useless for 4 games. And now he's playing as Jace, which is hardly matchup for Kennen either. So
it seemed like Untara didn't really know what to do, as Yukal's stats on Zoe are really bad.
I mean, normally you don't show this kind of stats.
Yeah, that's not a good one. But maybe now he can redeem himself after his player of the game last game.
Yeah. I mean, normally as a broadcast team, you show only positive things about the players, but official LCK broadcast team is flaming Yukal. Wow.
After giving him player of the game.
Yeah.
How disappointing.
That's so sad. Anyways, he has Aerie with the Zoe, so he should able to punish Galio in the early game.
Oh, and has Scorch. Oh dear.
Oh.
Scorch not so good.
He really wants to prove himself.
Yeah. he's already handicapping himself. He's like, this game isn't going to go late. He probably should rethink that because so far, these two teams have not really been playing very fast, one could say. I want to say something a little bit more impactful, but I think we'll just leave it at that. As Soan's famous Jace, pretty good win rate so far. And I don't know what Untara's win rate on the Kennen is, but hopefully we just don't see it. Don't need to, I don't think, because I don't think it'd be super good.
I mean, I don't really think good top laners wants to pick Kennen on the top side, because can we see like any kind of top Kennen from T1 or Gen G? Those kind of teams? No.
Not really.
They do not pick it. They always pick Seth or Ornn, which is considered as a good top lane champion. But Kennen is obviously not a great top champion to just pick it.
It's really funny though, because Kennen's win rate right now is actually very high in the LCK. It's fallen down one step lower because of the last match where Soam did lose on the champion. But otherwise, I mean, he's been picked like 17 times with close to an 80% win rate, which is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Just shows that some of our players have been finding victories on this pickup.
Maybe we are close-minded. You know?
Ooh,
who knows?
maybe.
Kennen is really OP pick, but we just don't know.
We watched last game, right? Surely he's not an OP pick. Oh dear.
And maybe it's the player. So maybe this timing around, Untara should prove himself that this pick is legit on the top side. You know?
Yeah. I don't know whether it will prove itself because Soan's already doing a decent job on his Jace. He's taken the phase rush this time around to be a little bit more maneuverable. Will help him play aggressively up there towards the top side. Okay, Kuro gonna flash to avoid dying to a paddle star. And this is going really well for Yukal so far. 21 win rate, by the way.
Yeah, he's pressuring mid lane, but that reset time was kind of interesting because when you're losing normally, then you shouldn't able to push and reset at the same time. But this timing around, Kuro did some smart, genius vision control play, I guess.
Yeah.
So he managed to push and reset, which means such a great position for mid lane.
Yep, and now can teleport back to the lane as well, so he's going to be absolutely fine despite having to blow his flash in a 1v1. Not too bad at all. Looking towards the bottom side, you can see aiming with a decent advantage, actually, against Viper and Iroh. Thankfully, Irove does have the minion dematerializer, so we'll be able to secure that cannon minion for Viper. As you can see, Antara with the wave stacking up here, thinking about what he can do as far as putting on some pressure onto Soan. But Soan, I think, is very happy to have the wave at this point because Bono's bottom side looking to take a very early Mountain Drake. It just spawned here at 5 minutes, and they are already taking it down with their bottom lane control. I like it. KT making a proactive play bottom lane. Tucson able to keep Bono very, very healthy as he's taking this Drake down. And you're going to have aiming securing his boots very, very early on. And with the wave in the position that it is, it's basically a free reset and a Drake.
KT with early leads in the game. It's 100% win rate. So you shouldn't give them early leads, but it's already the pick-wise. They really want to get early leads on the top side at least. And also bottom side, they have Kalista Tari, which is also great for the late game. So everything seems like going great, except they lost a flash on the mid lane.
And Kuro already has half of that flash back off cooldown, so not really punished for it whatsoever. Tarzan going to move in, but you can see Kuro has the wave in a good spot. And Yukal not able to put on too much more pressure onto this Galio here as Irove takes a bit of pierce damage, and Aiming's going to cop a little bit of double up damage, but Tucson comes in with the heals, and that's going to negate all of the aggression.
Yeah, the problem of the Zoe last game was he didn't make any proactive plays with the mid pressure. Yes, it's really great that you have mid pressure, but you have to do something with it because you cannot get solo kill as Zoe. So this timing around, Yukal, yes, he has a pressure. He got the enemy mid laner's flash, but he need to do something. Your both side laners are having hard time against their champions. So I think when he can move on the side that he actually wants to effect, then this game is going to accelerate a lot by himself.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually live up to that responsibility as Bono's going to run on in and look to steal away this red buff. Does so very easily. Thank you very much for the leash, Tarzan. And now moving back to mid lane, Yukal blows the ghost that he picked up, that he's still got heal and flash, so I don't think there's any kill pressure here available for Kuro and Bono. Bono been farming very, very well, as he is wont to do most of the time on his Olaf, and he's going for the warrior enchant this time around as well to try and fight against Tarzan as effectively as possible. And I think it's going to work out, because now Bono will have the heroic entrance available to him as well to try and get aggressive.
Yeah, everything seems like everything is on the KT side, it seems like. Objective controls and map control. If they just keep doing it, then I think KT is gonna get the Drake Soul in 20 minutes. So Griffin really need to use mid pressure like this.
Ooh, really great. Exhaust comes down there. Yukal didn't even need to use any of his own summoner spells there. Only level 6 Ragnarok, so it doesn't last very long, and Tarzan will be able to secure his big Raptor. Now Shelly's going to get angry.
I mean, even though they lost the ulti on Olaf, they're just starting header because of the bot pressure.
And also top pressure as well. You can see Soan has chunked out Ntaro at exactly the right time. And now Aiming moves on in. Teleport now from Viper to get himself into the fight. But I don't know whether they're going to be able to get that work done, as Irove has his shield eliminated immediately, as now they get the Herald, and they're looking to try and escape. Good taunt there from Kuro defensively, but the dredge line is going to land. He does have flash available. No, he didn't quite have it up, and he is going to be taken down. Tucson exhausted here as Fate's Call going to be used. I don't know why the Taric needed an exhaust, but they trade First Blood for the Rift Herald, and it's still pretty even, honestly, all things considered for KT.
Yeah, at least they got something with the mid pressure. Yukal actually got the flash on one-on-one, so this is the great play by Griffin. And they keep trying to get something on the top side.
Yep, maybe some aggression as teleport comes in. Tarzan going to flash. As now Kuro makes his way back up. He's going to be towards top side, and now Bono thinking about putting down the Herald. Tarzan wants to try and interrupt it as Yukal over to the side. Is going to get the bubble onto the Olaf, who doesn't have Ragnarok available, remember. Oh, Yukal almost stunned by the Dazzle. As Aiming looking for that last plate, but isn't going to be able to get it. and UCAL is able to successfully defend this outer turret. But KT still, their bottom lane, very, very strong. Viper parking himself in mid. You can see Untara going for a reset as he heads toward the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, at the end, KT got the header, and I mean, they lost the kill, but they got the objective still. So
yeah,
the important thing is second drag is up. So are they gonna try to fight this? Because now KT has all the flash, and they are definitely strong team comp at level 6. They already hit the level 6 already, all the members. So I'm not sure Griffin has enough power to contest this Drake.
Yeah, and the Drake just spawning right this second. Griffin do have a little bit of a gold lead, but Soan's going to answer that pretty easily, and he has his teleport available. And Tara with his as well, and he's already parked towards the bottom side. As Tarzan taking a bit of damage from this Drake, but he's going to pull away from it pretty quickly. UCAL comes down. Now Bono looking to try and go aggressive. You can see checking in on the Jace. He hasn't started any teleport just yet, because now Bono does very much want to try and get this steal over here. Make It Rain comes down. The bullet time will be available, and it is going to be taken by Bono. Tarzan now in trouble as the Cosmic Radiance keeps KT alive. Big taunt opportunity, but they don't even need to use it there, as Tarzan's just going to go down, aiming with the Ren. Soan flashing in, but not going to be able to find anything for it. Maybe a little bit of over-aggression, over-excitement by Soan, but that's okay. They're on track to grab this Ocean Soul as soon as it's available.
And this time they got everything. The kill, objectives. I mean, they lost the TP on the top side, but they got 3 plates on the top side either. So, yeah, I mean, this seems like just easy game for KT right now.
Yeah, it's really looking good. And this was after Griffin did have a little bit of a lead in the earlier stages. Tucson just showing exactly why this Taric is so valuable.
Yep. And also, I mean, if Griffin wants to start this, then at least they just need to just gamble, just 50-50. I understand that Olaf has E skill to burst the damage on the Drake, but still, then why do you even start it? If you think you cannot even contest the smart fight. Well, that's my question.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is with it, to be perfectly honest. I'm about as confused as you are, as now Soan is going to have Shelly up here to help him take down this outer turret. The plate gold is going to be going over to Bono as well. And first turret gold is now in the hands of KT. They're moving towards a 2,000 gold lead, actually, as Antara does at least deny Shelly's second charge. But they don't really mind about getting damage on the inner turret top lane. And they want to try and grab some of the plates that are set up in the bottom side and in mid lane now.
KT with the snowballing comp.
Yeah.
Man, could we actually expecting this from the round 1 KT? Who can actually expecting this kind of comp and this kind of gameplay?
Well, it's working out pretty well, but Iroh may have caught aiming out of position, but there's the heroic entrance. I don't know what Iroh's going to be able to do here as the rest of the team are moving on over. It's a good stopwatch, but it's not quite enough, as there's the Fate's Call. Slicing Maelstrom completely denied by the flash out from aiming. Tucson over the wall once again. He gets exhausted. The Kuro flashes away. Tarzan now having to deal with all of these sticks that aiming has stuck into him, and they steal away the 1 kill, and they're able to get out.
That was super play, and that was insane escape by KT ball lane right there. I was gonna think that the cannon is gonna land some stuns on the Kalista, but aiming, man. His reaction on cannon, he just instantly flashed and used the Fate Call for the Taric, and Tushin just disengaged on the cannon and flashes out.
Yeah.
And he survived that.
That was really nice. I liked that he jumped back in to get the knock up onto the cannon to avoid the slicing Maelstrom completely by everyone, then escapes and soaks an exhaust. Man, really cool stuff. Also, Kuro's immediate reaction with the heroic entrance just shows how difficult it is to engage onto this KT composition, because the Galio can be there from so far away.
Look at the skill combo right here. First, Kuro tries to defend for the Kalista, and it's all about aiming, you know? They just need to save aim. That was instant exhaust as well, and flashing out. And they didn't have enough damage for it.
And then you see the rest of the fight was all too easy for KT. 2,000 gold over 2,000 gold is now going to be their lead, and it's just looking real good. The KT Rolster. Tucson now does have a Glacial Shroud as well, so he's going to have his ultimate back off cooldown even earlier. Running around with his Swifty Boots as well, as we've got the Plate Gold going in favor of KT this time. Game number 1, it was all about Griffin. This time, it's KT's Snowball to roll down the hill.
Yeah, and also on top of that, Sohwan's Jace is performing so good. He don't even need to join the fight. All he needs to do is just pressure side lane and make Kennen useless. And he's already getting a level advantage, and he almost got the second tower as well.
Yeah, he is huge. Well, level 11, but will be level 12 very soon. Antara only just hitting level 11 now, but it is actually very important for the Kennen to get rank 2 on the ultimate. So it might help Antara stay relevant moving into the next fights. You can see Sohwan keeping that pressure up like you're talking about. Antara still has half the cooldown of his teleport. Teleport advantage will be there for KT very, very soon when Sohwan gets his back. And there's also Kuro that has that teleport up at all times as well. So KT in a very good position. Now 7 seconds until the Ocean Drake. They'll walk on over and they'll probably just take it for free. You can see Griffin thinking about moving down to try and contest. And Sohwan's going to have to start moving as well because he doesn't quite have that teleport off cooldown. And now Tucson with the vision gets it all in there, and Griffin do manage to make it over. They'll clear out this control ward at least, but I feel like KT just have themselves a whole lot of control when it comes to just their team fight potential at this stage. And Aiming's even going to take down this outer turret bottom lane as well.
So all they need is cannon flank on the KT and just try to burst them with the misfortune ulti. But unless, I don't think they can win any single kind of team fight against KT. So just want to see more creativity plays by Griffin right now.
I think they need to force out the Cosmic Radiance so that Tarek can't just ruin their Wombo combo by pressing his R button, which I think might just happen if they just go for a straight up team fight. Good bubble there from Yukal is going to land, but he's going to suffer a lot of damage back. Oh my god, even that shock blast chunking this Zoe out. Does have some honey fruit that thankfully the Ocean Soul did provide for them. Now KT standing in this brush, out of vision of Griffin, and now looking to try and deny the Drake and get themselves to Ocean Soul point, which is just so important. Kuro does have his ultimate available, but Antara looking to try and interrupt it if he does decide to channel it. And now Antara going to move on out. Okay, Render's going to secure the Drake, and there's the Cosmic Radiance just for the disengage. And Griffin, they can't find an opportunity to make their way in. Ragnarok used just to avoid any sort of extra follow-up damage. And KT, I really like the reserve play. Don't go for the team fight, just secure the Drake that you were looking for. Force Soul Point as well. And now they're in a great position to claim a victory at, about 22 minutes into the game when the next Ocean Drake spawns.
Yeah, they have to fight, but they cannot. That Kuro, I guess it can be this libero play, like football. His positioning was really great.
Yeah, I loved it. Just playing goalie.
It blocked the cannon completely.
And also, the thing is that if the Galio decides that it's time to fight on the other front, he just presses R, right? And he had full vision control of that tri-brush, so he knew exactly where Kennen was. Kennen couldn't actually tell whether the Galio was standing in that brush in order to interrupt with an ultimate or something like that. Like, really, really cool decision making here from KT to make sure that Drake was basically free. And speaking of free, Yukal might be going down here as well. Great Dazzle is going to land as Yukal flashes himself out, but the Ren damage not quite enough. They'll just have to settle for this turret, and they do so.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe Aiming just jumps forward with the killing tower, but yeah, they don't even need to make random plays. All they need to do is just push them out and do not give them any single chance right now.
Yeah, and you can see they're using all of this pressure. Now moving towards the mid lane to try and take this outer turret. And this is the clean KT play that we really wanted to see in this whole series, right? Because after that Game 2 loss, like, I'm worried for KT versus GRX. Whereas if this was a clean series, then maybe it's just going to be an easy KT win. Speaking of KT losing, Aiming going down very, very low, but he's surviving. Tarek heals everything. And he's able to get out of there. I don't know how it happened, but he eats some honey fruit and he's going to be K.
How the heck he survived?
I have no idea.
Tarek didn't even use ulti there. And it seemed like Trundle used ulti on Kalista even to make it happen.
Yeah, to try and get that extra dot damage to try and get the kill. Wasn't enough in order to take him down. So we see this yet again. I actually thought this was a clear pick, like just real clean stuff, and they'd be able to take them down. But this is the power of the Taric, of the Galio, and everything. And then the power of the Honeyfruit. Yeah. Ocean Drake, everyone. Ocean Drake was relevant in that moment.
Ocean Drake is so impactful for the Rift, Summoner's Rift as well. It makes a lot of Honeyfruits in the map, and then expansion brushes.
Yeah. Actually, like around the Drake, that brush in front of the Drake pit is so impactful.
Yep.
And so you saw
It's
KT
like,
using it in that last fight as well, around the Drake. So yeah, it's a pretty rough Dragon Soul to play against if you're behind.
Ivern is not in the game, but
he's there in spirit.
He's with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's with us.
I love Ivern. What a great champion. As okay, aiming with shopping, and then able to use his heal as well as his flash.
오케이. 나 살긴 했어. 너무 나 뭔가 있을 것 같았는데. 이거 타리쿵이 없구나.
He was trying to ping Runa's Hurricane that he has only 100 gold left, and they were talking about maybe they're there, and we didn't even have Taric ulti. How could you survive there? And they were kind of surprised that they actually survived in that moment. So it was random, but luckily today KT is having a clean game for now.
Yeah, and even then when they were caught out of position, not actually going to die, but that does show the power of being ahead. Because honestly, if that was in an even game state, then that's a dead Kalista instantly, right? And then probably a dead Taric afterwards. And then maybe even a dead Galio, because when you're ahead, it's very easy to just press your R button and land as Galio and know that your teammates are going to survive. But in a different scenario, we've seen Galio certainly not have that experience. There's now 20 seconds until the Ocean Drake is available, and that is Ocean Soul, guys. And that, if KT get it, it's going to be game over. And if they lose it, doesn't matter. They just wait another 5 minutes and try again.
Now, most people are probably saying this to Griffin, please fight. But I think KT is one of the good teams who doesn't give any room for losing team.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really hard for Griffin. But at the same time, if Griffin really wants to take this win, and this is great chance, it's already game 3. And I think Kennen really needs to make some super play against this.
We need like the 4-man ulti in the backline or something from Montara. And he is in position to try and get that flank. You can see the Rift is getting very dark. He's now aiming, has set himself up. They will have Rend and Smite available for this. Is now Griffin.
Positioning.
Yeah, trying to get in. They don't have the Gargoyle playing Bouncer this time, but he does get a really good exhaust and a great stun with the taunt, and now the heroic entrance comes in. They've given up on the Drake right here, and so on. Loses most of his health bar, but he still has shot glasses. Yukal's just going to die. Great stun there onto Tarzan as well. I think that was a double stun on both forms of the Dazzle, and now it's going to be the Ocean Soul collected and KT's victory here on Summoner's Rift for Game 3.
If he had flash there, man. If he had flash.
Yeah.
Cannon. That was a sad moment. Instant exhaust, instant taunt on the cannon, and KT was just the better team in this game.
Yeah, and Kuro with just that heads-up play of like, oh, maybe the cannon's there. Right as Zuntara is trying to run forward, has the exhaust for him immediately after the taunt, and honestly, I just feel like Kuro's Galio is fantastic. I just want to see more of Kuro's Galio, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and people might starting to think that Zoe is bad pick, but yeah, today's series it seems like Zoe is really bad pick right here, but every top team really likes to pick Zoe, so this is not the champions first, it's more like players first, it feels like.
Well, it's okay because we've got BDD and Faker coming in our next match, so we'll be able to show you some good Zoe. And do you know what the best Zoe is when you're in a T1 versus Gen G game? A banned Zoe. Because I don't want to have that one-sided affair where one of those players gets the champion that they're so damn good at. I think BDD is probably the best Zoe in LCK. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And best Azir is Faker, so I think both champions are gonna be banned the whole series.
Yep, I think Zoe, Azir, and LeBlanc all need to be banned in that particular series. But we're getting ahead of ourselves just a little bit. I think most of us realize that KT are going to win this game. They're 8,000 gold ahead. They've got Ocean Soul and they've got Baron. And they're just going to crash down these turrets and kill Griffin maybe one last time before destroying the Nexus.
Yeah, and I really think this is the great timing for aiming to get another pentakill here.
Yeah.
Because it's just way too ahead. There's no way they lose the team.
And he's also got the QSS, so he's not even going to get snared or stunned or anything.
Exactly.
He'll be absolutely fine. Not that there's too many stuns that he really needs to worry about. Maybe Trouble Bubble.
And I don't even think that they need 5 members to teamfight. They just need Kalista and Taric and Galio.
Yeah. And actually, they
I
don't
really
even need
think they
Galio
can
because he
3v5.
turns up halfway through the fight anyway. So
Yeah.
they can just chill. I didn't see aiming just miss that cannon minion. Don't worry. It's not actually a thing. As this inner turret's going to go down, so on, pushing on the bottom side, but he's got acceleration gate to keep himself safe. All of that extra movement speed, and KT just clearing every bit of vision that Griffin has and suffocating them out of their base. Oh, that's a really good bubble coming through from Yukal, but he has a whole lot in order to keep himself
Cosmic
safe.
Insight.
There's the ulti. Cosmic Insight, fantastic there, as the bullet time was negated. That bubble's going to go wide and aiming down to about half health. But Soon's destroying the top lane the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Kuro's got the top lane one. And you're exactly right. I mean, that was like 3 versus 4. And KT didn't look bothered at all.
And Ragnar up there, so it's not gonna hurt.
From Tara, maybe in position
Has
here.
flash this time.
Exactly right. The Ragnarok has now cooled down, but look at that. The heroic entrance, fantastic positioning. Kuro immediately is going to get snared up. Yeah, the exhaust was fantastic, and Tara can't get the damage that he was looking for. Somehow, no one's died yet, and the Trundle is going to be the first one to fall. Tucson goes golden, and now it's aiming's time to shine. He takes down the cannon. Yukal's going to be his second target. Irove just dredge lining at point-blank range just to get taken down by that shock blast, as Kuro can't flash after pressing his taunt this time, and also had his had his flash on cooldown, and now KT will just win the game.
That was just perfect team fight from every single member right there, by the way. Every single member just were focusing the right target at the right moment. Instant exhaust by Tucson was really impressive. And Kalista flashing forward. This is what we want from aiming.
Yeah, really clean stuff. They want to be able to kill Viper here before the Nexus. They do so. And now Tarzan is just trying to whack Tucson away from his Nexus. Unable to. Congratulations to KT. It took a while. It was a 2-1 victory, but in games 1 and 3, they looked really good.
Oh, yeah. And next match is going to be really hype. DRX versus KT.
Oh, yeah. That is going to be super cool tomorrow. And our next match tonight, T1 versus Gen G, is also going to be crazy hype. Could you imagine if T1 were able to get that win against Gen G, even out their score lines? And if it's a 3-game series, we'd be like super pumped, because it's just so likely that T1 versus Gen G is going to be our spring final. And I just want it to be a good match, man. I really, really do.
I'm not even sure am I deserve to commentary that game, you know, because I'm just.
Of course you do.
Happy.
Of course you do.
I mean, I'm just so happy that I can watch that game.
Hell yeah, man.
Live.
Sometimes our job is just the best. Absolutely is. Sometimes it's not, you know. Sometimes we have to commentate Darmon versus APK, and it's a bit crazy, but then we get the reward, which is Gen G versus T1. Or DRX versus KT tomorrow.
To be honest, today's series were just really hard to cast, to be honest, because it was really one-sided or random at the same time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, yeah, right now, finally, I can explain some good things about the games, you know, and game details.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, our next series will probably allow you to do that so much. As we check out some of the highlights from this one, this was honestly pretty easy for KT throughout the whole game. I liked their draft, I liked their play, I really liked Kuro's Galio, and I think that Tucson probably had one of the best performances on Taric that we've seen so far in the LCK.
I agree. His stunts, his cosmic insights, everything was just perfect. His also he survived everything.
Yeah.
From every team. So look at him. He's gonna insta-exhaust all the time against enemy cannon. That's all he needs.
And also not throwing the exhaust away. Like, that exhaust was crazy. He exhausted him right as the Fate's Call was coming in.
Yeah, I mean, his reaction is on point right now.
So sick.
And his performance. KT bot lane is coming for Teddy and Phil, by the way.
Well, we'll see. That matchup is going to be a really hype one when we do get around to it. That's in a few games' time, I think, as far as KT versus Genji and T1. But certainly will be exciting. I think the next one is going to be that telecom war that's coming up towards the end of this week or early next week. I'm pretty sure. But I will need to check the schedule once again. As this was just KT winning every team fight. Once again, Zoe looking useless. And we'll be able to see a Zoe looking better if she gets through the draft in our next series, but it's not happening this series. Yukal and Kuro really not finding ways to win on the Zoe. Another instant exhaust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's so good.
So that's and 3 targets stunned as parry. And he's gonna survive this with a perfect stop.
Just so good. Really, really clean stuff. Yeah. And I think, like, having both of the player of the games go to aiming and Tucson, I assume Tucson's going to be able to pick it up for this performance. It just shows how good this bottom lane has become. And it's so fun to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean...
Whoa, this was a slaughter. 27.5 minutes is not a long game. And they only lost 1 tower and 1 kill. Just nutty. Really, really good play there from KT.
Almost perfect game.
Yeah. And at 10 minutes time, they barely had a lead, and then they hit their power spikes, and they never let up. It's just really, really good to see a team understanding their win conditions and understanding their power spikes. And KT did it pretty perfectly there, as we're going to check out the player of the game and who managed to pick that one up. I expect it to be Tucson, but we'll see.
Yeah, because we voted, yeah.
But we're only 2 out of the 9 votes. So
yeah, and my question is, what's the problem for Griffin right now?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Literally everything, I guess.
I think we had a discussion about this on the Pog State just yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Talking about like the issues with negative momentum, right? Like if you just can't win a series, the atmosphere in the team house and everything like that just gets worse and worse and worse.
Oh yeah.
And Griffin just really need to find some form of win so that they can help their mentality. And
maybe this whole situation is just so bad for Griffin right now because they cannot go team bonding outside.
Yeah. And Tucson is going to pick up player of the game. There is a god, everyone. We've figured it out.
Yeah.
1-0-10. 100% kill participation throughout the whole game, guys. Like, this guy's Taric is super good. And I love how he's, like, indicating to his stats. He's like, yeah, that's right. That's right. With the pose. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, team bonding is so important because KT literally said after team bonding, team activity, they got the point. So it was lucky that they could go a team activity before the coronavirus outbreak hits. And that's just unlucky.
Yeah, it's a real shame. But it just shows
they
that,
just need some,
like, this positive momentum, though, for KT is just fantastic. And now 8 wins in a row for this squad. I'm looking forward to hearing from the interview, like, just to see how the KT players think about their amazing run and what they think the massive change in performance, like, see what it was that they actually changed in order to be this good now. 9 out of 9, baby. That's just Tucson being good.
Yeah. It's normally hard to get the 9 out of 9.
I don't think we've seen it for support.
Role.
Yeah, I think this is like one of the first 9. Oh, maybe Carrier got it on his Pike.
Carrier.
I think Pike was a 9 out of 9.
Cool.
But this was also well deserved.
Yeah, I just want to see more this kind of performance and want to see when he play against DRX because Carrier versus Tushin.
Yeah, super fun. But we do have an interview, so let's throw it over to Ji-sun for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's hear from Tusin aiming the bot duo from KT Rolster. Aiming, you're having this interview every day. How are you feeling picking up another win?
일단 계속 연승 행진해가지고 되게 좋고.
I'm really happy to extend our winning streak.
볼 수 있어서.
And also, I'm really happy to be on this interview as much as possible.
400전까지 오늘 찍었죠.
And Tusin, your 400 games in LCK. You just hit the milestone as an LCK Pro player. Congratulations on that as well. How are you feeling? Do you even remember your first game? Of course I do. Well, maybe it was against Zenix, I don't really remember. And I remember that I played Leona on that game. Aiming next to a very experienced player. And for you, Aiming is a rookie. Well, I debuted as a pro player when I was 20 years old, so it definitely feels like I've played for a while. I'm 26 right now. 6 years as a pro player. Especially with that beard, you look extra like professional. Does that add more power to your performance? Well, during this like lockdown time, I'm just like not shaving my beard, but I kind of like it, so I'm just leaving for my style. Is that some kind of a jinx or just because? Well, the longer the beard gets, the longer our winning streak extends, so I kind of keeping it. I guess your head coach won't even let you shave. I don't really think so. Yeah, jinx is only a jinx, so let's go back to the game talk. 800 POG points and one more POG will guarantee a tie on the first place of the POG ranking. Well, since I've been picking up a lot of POGs, I kind of want more. And you also said you are the best player on any other AD carry champions. So how are your thoughts on the POG competition with Chovy? Well, during this winning streak, I think it's possible. I think I can make it to the first place.
굉장히 좋은 경기력을 보여주고 있어서 충분히 가능할 것 같습니다. 일단 저는 궁금한 게
So I have another question.
어떤 피드백이 있었나요, 팀적으로?
What kind of feedback went back and forth after dropping that game number 2?
받으셨을 것 같은데 혹시 오늘 연승 끝나나? 지난 경기도
Did you guys feel a little bit worried about like getting your winning streak stopped? Well, we have a very high win rate on the blue side, and we lost quite a lot of games in purple side, so we do have a lot of 2-1 games, so we just said like we'll get it back in game number 3, and also in game-wise, we discussed what went wrong, and then we tried to get our confidence back. Yeah, game number 3, Tusin, on Tark, you were doing your best as possible, like kind of marking the cannon for the flank angles. Especially that instant exhaust landing on cannon every time. So any tips for those plays? Well, the main point of game 3 was Cannon having that flank angle, and that kind of decided the victory. So as a team, me and also Kuro, we did our best to find where Cannon is hiding.
사실 이거는 앞에 써 있는 걸 그대로 읽는다는 걸 여러분께 말씀드리는 상황에서
So we have a script right in front of me,
이주 탐켄치라는 커뮤니티 반응
or the chat in front of me that a lot of Korean chat is actually spamming this. This is Tomkins and Israel having a real life interview. We haven't really tell who's the Israel and who's the Tomkins yet. But anyways, do you guys like this kind of comments? Do you feel more like secure with Tusin right next to you? Like a guardian.
이제 투신 형이 이제
Well,
용맹한
I mean,
장비와
Tusin,
닮아서
he definitely looks like a warrior.
따라갈 수 있지 않나 싶어요.
So I can like chase him all day.
투신 본인은 내가 이즈인데 뭐.
What about you, Tusin? Don't you think you are the Ezreal?
이즈가 이제 이즈 켄치라고 해서 뭐 이즈가 서포터가 할 수
I
있고
mean,
이제 켄치가 CS를 먹을 수 있잖아요. 이제.
Sometimes
그런
Ezreal can be festing and Tomkins can take the CS. So I don't really disagree.
에이밍이 이렇게 잘하는 거는 투신 선수의 폼이 솔직히.
Yeah, I mean, aiming performing so well is all coming from Tusin's support as well.
본인 그리고 에이밍 팀 같이 이렇게 올라가는
So
그런
as a
느낌이
team
드니까
together, you guys kind of stepped
투신
up.
아무래도 좀 마음가짐의 차이였던 것 같아요.
I think
조금
it was all about
연습할
our
때는
mindset during the
누구나
losing
다
streak.
똑같겠지만
Like
내가
everyone
못해서
does.
지나 약간 이런 생각을
I also
하는데
thought that
좀 이기면서
is that
약간
me?
그 감도 찾고
Is that why we're
승리의
losing?
공식
But
같은 걸
when we got back to the
알아가다
forum, we
보니까
kind of
지금
learned
저희가
how to
분위기가
win
좋아지고
games. We
다
kind of
그런
found our
이유였던 것
winning
같아요.
scenario. So I got my confidence back.
다음 경기는 DRX입니다.
Your next opponent will be DRX.
네, 오늘 뭐 DRX도 좋은 모습 보였었는데.
And they did pull off a great performance today, earlier as well.
자신 있습니까?
So how are you going to perform for the series?
일단 지금
Right
저희는 이제
now,
모든 팀을 만나도 다 자신감이
We
있기
are
때문에
confident up against any other teams.
똑같이 저희가 이제 이긴다
So same
마인드로
goes to
게임할 것
DRX.
같아요.
So we will have this mindset that we will win.
좀 혁규 플레이가 살짝 아쉽다고
I
나이를
mean,
먹어가는 게
Maybe Deft is aging a little bit. His performance is not on point.
이거 됐을만한데라는
Well,
좀 상황이 많았던 것
There
같은데
were a lot of it could have been
어,
situation
재밌게
coming out of
재밌는
DRX.
경기했으면
So
좋겠어요.
I want to have a good game on that series.
워낙 친하다 보니까.
I mean, Tusin and Deft are really good friends, so we have heard a little bit of a trash talk over there. And this will be the end of the interview with Tusin aiming from KT Rolster, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, for the interview translation. And we still have one more game to go. Just amazing. It's 9
so
p.m. right
happy.
now. We could be going well and truly in towards midnight if this series goes the distance.
Yeah, and KT is on 4th place with 8 games winning streak. Holy moly.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. If they beat DRX, DRX still will have the point score advantage, and so will still hold on to that 3rd place, but with a match score that is now evened out with a team that went 5 losses in a row at the beginning of the season. Just amazing, the turnaround of this KT squad. Really, really fun. Listening to Tusin and aiming as well when they were discussing, Tusin's beard power. I love that. I actually think Tusin's beard looks really cool. I'm a fan.
Yeah, me too. He looks really aggressive at the same time.
Yeah,
so.
intimidating. I'd be scared. Now they don't actually like hang out with the other players on the opposing team, but when he comes back, he's got that big beard. Oh man, it'll be very intimidating. But speaking of intimidating, both of the teams that are coming up, sitting at the top of the standings right now, this is the big one. Gen G versus T1. Woodid and I are going to go have some dinner, make sure that we get ready, because this could be just one of the biggest matchups that we've seen. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in about 30 minutes.